Team Europe captain Mika Koivuniemi looking to get the first strike in 3 frames for the Europeans, and oh dear, how fortunate he was. That ball hurried on. It was a ball change for Mika, looking for something extra in the back end, and he didn't get it. The ball just hurried on, just clipped the headpin as it went through, and he's fortunate to break up anything at all.
And this is why these Scotch doubles are so interesting, with the shifting dynamics within teams, because Dom's just being passed the dustpan and brush here.
Yeah, he's doing all the clearing up, isn't he? Because Mika hasn't made strikes. And he was pretty fortunate just to leave that single pin standing there.
And of course, come frame 7, Mika will be up first again for Europe. Now on 3 in a row, the United States. So now it's Bill's turn to bowl.
Yeah, a good chance to take the pressure off of himself here if he can bury one right in the pocket, carry 10, make 4 in a row. Get in that sweet spot. Oh, a bit of overreaction there. That really did hook up quite violently, didn't it? Oh, snapped on him. Really, it leaves the 3-6-10, and Tommy Jones will have to spare this. See the shot here. Gets to the outside mark in his zone, and it's just overreacted in the back end. It's gone straight through the number 1 pin. And it's the 3, 6 and the 10. This will be a pretty straight shot, hard and fast. And it's quite a simple spare at the end of the day.
Well, that keeps things interesting here in the middle of this final match of the session. 6th of the session.
And it's more than interesting. It's just a 1-pin takedown now between the two. They're both working on spares. 1 pin difference in favour of Team USA. So it could go either way. As Mika stands up for frame number 7. Must get a strike soon.
3 without. That's more like it, Mika. The moose let loose at last.
Yeah, certainly let loose in the hoose. Great looking shot here from the European captain. Great big snap in the back end, carries all 5, drives right through that 5 pin. Does all the damage. And it means so much to him. Now gives Dom a chance to stand up next frame and shoot at a full rack of 10 pins.
Something that Bill ONeil is doing now for the US. Leaves the 10 standing and invites Tommy to finish the job.
Yeah, with a little less luck, that could have been a 7-10 split standing up. Let's just watch where it goes. Bill's move left on the approach, deeper inside. Doesn't quite get out as far to his mark, and it's in the pocket. But the 4 trips around the 7 and just takes it out, but the 6 leaves the 10 solid. And that was closer than you really wanted, as TJ just loses his footing on the approach there at the foul line.
Inside edge, but Tommy made it. Now then, a strike last time out from Mika Koivuniemi. Another one here, and the pressure is back on the United States. Re-rack.
Yeah, it's an important ball for Dom Barrett. He's standing up to shoot at 10 pins for the first time in a couple of frames. Europe working on a strike, or with a strike, so it could be an important ball if he can double up, put some pressure back on USA, who are 10 pins adrift at this moment. And Mike Fagan doesn't look too happy. Chris Barnes looks as though he's just woken up off of 40 winks. And Dom Barrett wants to put 10 in the pocket.
Which he does. Delightful from Dom.
Well, it raises the roof here in the Barnsley Metrodome. The crowd have just gone absolutely ballistic. They know it's such an important shot for Dom Barrett and the European side. A lot of arm waving and tactics talking there. I'm getting this sort of reaction down that line. What are you getting down this line? It's All good information shared amongst the players.
Bill Firey on the back of 2 spares. There's a strike there. Those last 2 pins, what was it, the 8 and the 10, wiped their feet, but decided to drop.
This was so close to being a big split, wasn't it? In fact, that pin nearly stood up again. It was down and came up. It was the 8, well, it was something. It nearly stood on the 8-pin spot. He nearly had the 8-10 split there. But fortunately, both of them went, and it's a strike for Team USA.
Does that ever happen?
I've seen it happen.
Pin tumbling, standing up again?
It has happened, yeah. It gets hit in the wrong place and it actually stands up again and then gets picked up by the machine. It's quite unique, but very rare.
Mika. Oh, leaving that 10 again. Just can't quite hammer this home yet, Team Europe.
Yeah, Mika not really happy with himself. He too has moved left on the approach. A little bit tighter line. Nice reaction in the back end. The 6 jumps right down the 10. Doesn't even touch it. And the disappointment on his face after not a bad shot. Could have been 3 strikes in a row. Can only be a spare if Dom can make this one, which he does nicely. Team Europe move through the 200 barrier with that spare. Big chance here for Tommy Jones. Able to sew this one up for the Americans if he can make another strike here.
Strike, and 8-4 is how things are certain to look in terms of the overall scoring. It's the creep towards that 17-point mark, enough to win the Weber Cup. No.
That puts a different light on this game, doesn't it? A ball out of the pocket for Tommy Jones, and he can hardly believe it, but he sees the funny side of it. Just didn't get the overreaction in the back end. Gets to his breakpoint zone, and it's just, well, it's almost crossed the headpin left-hand side.
Heading on for Brooklyn territory there, weren't we?
Absolutely, yeah, it was. It was going all the way, and a bit of disappointment on that young lady's face, and she was obviously looking for a strike. Will ONeil's looking for a spare. She makes nicely. And it comes down to just 9 pins difference going into the last frame, so whoever can make a double here is going to pick this point up.
Right down to the wire.
Absolutely, Andy, yeah. It's been a great game, really. Both cards looking good. No open frames there.
Frame 10. Europe's captain, Mika Koivuniemi. Major Mika, the flying Finn. Needs to get in amongst them here. No. Finn on the right-hand side of the headpin. Leaves one standing. Oh, this one's in the lap of the gods.
A spare here and a strike may just be enough for Team Europe to hang on. It is that close. 224 maximum score. USA can still go off 226. They can strike out.
Dom sees that one off. No bother there.
Forces Team USA to get a strike at least on their first ball in the 10th. Last ball for the Europeans. As many pins as you can, Mika. Give us a chance. Put some pressure right on USA.
Yes! The best that could be expected in those particular circumstances. That's Mika Koivuniemi ending with a strike now. What can you do, Tommy and Bill?
2 strikes in 9 will be good enough, so they have to make 2 strikes. First 2 balls of the 10th frame. Anything less, and the point is Europe's. Said it's all come down to the 10th frame, down to the wire, and the pressure is on. TJ, Tommy Jones.
Well, he's the man you want in circumstances like that. Yeah, it has all come down to the final frame in the final game of this second session.
Well, Tommy's done his part by getting his strike on frame ball number 1 in the 10th. They need another one, and it's Bill ONeil. Maybe a little bit nervous, Bill ONeil. He's got to bury this one, carry all 10. Anything less, and it's a European victory.
Oh, he hit that very, very square, and a rueful smile from Bill ONeil there. Yeah, whilst it's kind of sunken in, took a second or two, didn't it? But what a finish here in this final match of the session.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure whether they were watching the scoreboard there or not, but as soon as that ball didn't strike, it was game over.
Fantastic for Europe. So they began this second session with 2 straight points in the Baker and the first doubles. Lost the next 2. First the singles and the second doubles, but now have finished the session with another 2 straight points. So the deficit is now just 2. An excellent second session from Mika Koivuniemi's men. The United States still lead, but Europe are back in this Weber Cup.
What a comeback for Team Europe. How impressed have you been by your performances and your team's performances this afternoon, Mika?
I think the whole team did what we planned to do. We wanted to win this session 4-2, and we did. We have to be happy, but we need to keep going. Our next session we need to win 4-2, and we all score.
Yeah, so you've won that session, Dom. Just feels a lot better now for you guys, doesn't it?
That's right. You know, we came into today knowing that we go 4-2, 4-2. We're right back in this, and it's all to play for tomorrow, and that's exactly where we are at the moment, halfway there for today.
And how important is momentum in this competition? Because you've obviously played in it plenty of times in the past.
Extremely important. I think that's they should probably rename it the Momentum Cup, because every time one team starts going, they're very hard to stop. We've known that with the Americans the past couple of years, and they've known it with us when we start get going. So we're just going to try and get our foot onto the floor and start going through them now.
It's got a certain ring to it, the Momentum Cup, hasn't it now? You've got a couple of hours off. What are you guys going to be doing in the team room? Is it going to be protein shakes and ice baths?
We're going to eat something for sure, and maybe discuss a little bit how to play the lanes.
Sounds pretty sensible. Guys, thanks very much indeed. Well done to Team Europe, who've won yet another point. The winds of change are blowing through Barnsley, and Team Europe are on the charge. Goodbye.